Hey everyone, how are you doing? I hope you're having a nice night. Um, I've just heard that there's a red weather warning happening for Scotland over the next couple of days. I think it's more up north, so like kind of Dundee, Aberdeen area. So if you're in one of those areas, I hope you stay safe and the weather doesn't affect you. Um, hey Ali, glad you're here. Um, don't really have much to chat about before we get to the crafting. There's still the really good starter kit offer that's on at the moment. There's more information on my blog. Um, SEC, for those of you coming to the craft fair, it's next week. I keep saying it's next weekend. It's not actually next weekend. It is next week though. So we will be there next Wednesday setting up, and then the show is next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm actually more organised in advance than we've been in a while, which is really kind of strange. But if you are coming to the show, then be sure to come by the stand and say hello to us. We're on stand K09, Kilo 09, and we'll have free make and takes going. So, right. Hey, Debbie. Hey, Karen. Let's jump to the good stuff. And this week, I was wondering what I was going to show you because I was hoping it was going to be my pre-order. Not pre-order. I had an order of stuff that was due to come with some new kits and stuff. Hasn't arrived. It's not arriving until Friday, which I'm a little gutted about. So I was trying to think what I was going to make for you this week, and I thought this is a Christmas card which I made a while ago. And I thought I would try and make it again using current products. So I've decided to call this segment "How Did She Do That?" because I can't remember. It's quite a nice fancy fold. Obviously it's using papers that we don't have anymore, which is why I thought I would remake it. But this bit slides off, and then this part opens up like that, and you've got little cards that slot in like so. See, it's coming back to me now. And I thought it's a nice Christmas card to make. It's one of these fancier ones that you can have for special Christmas cards. And I thought it would be fun to try and make this evening. But I'm going to warn you, I can't exactly remember how it's done. So we're going to start off by disassembling the last one and seeing what measurements we can use with it. So this was using, I think this is cherry cobbler and shaded spruce. But I thought it would be really nice to do it in Night of Navy and to use the Shining Brightly designer series papers. So this is the plan for this evening. So I'm going to start off with my Night of Navy. I'm pretty sure it's just, no, it's not as wide as that, and it's not as long as twice as that. This is obviously like a pocket. Yeah, because there's a lip there and there. Ah, right. Okay, so I've obviously done it that way. You see? When you've got a card that you've made in the past or that somebody else has made, hey Shona, it shouldn't be that hard to recreate it, she says optimistically. Now let's have a look at sizes. So this is 18 centimeters or 7 and a bit inches. I'm going to say that this one's done in centimeters, but it's 18, but there's a lip on the inside that we need to do. So 18, 19, 20 centimeters. This is 21 centimeters wide. So let's start off by trimming off 1 centimeter. Okay. And then if I look to see how wide each of these are. Hey Julie. We're having some fun and games tonight, trying to figure out how this is done. Well, of course, if it's 18 and it's 3 panels, then it's 6. Okay, so I have trimmed off 1 centimetre. I'm then going to score. So I'm going to score at 1. Then I'm going to score, I'm actually going to turn it around and do it this way. So I've scored at 1. I'm going to score at 7, because 1 plus 6 is 7. Oh, it's going to involve maths, isn't it? 7 plus 6 is 13. And then, so 13 plus 6 is 19. And that leaves 1 centimetre left. So far, so good. I think that's pretty much lining up to what we had before. So now let's see how long each of these ones are. 10.5. So that does suggest, given that that's 10.5, it could have been, but it's too wide. Yeah, anyway, 10.5 and 10.5 is 21. So I'm going to score at 10.5. And then I'm going to cut at 21. 10.5 plus 10.5 is 21, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, that's not complicated at all. All right, so we've got a piece that is 21 centimetres by 20 centimetres. We've scored 1 centimetre, then that's 6, that's 6, that's 6, and then that's 1. And then the whole thing is in half, 10.5. Okay, there's my bone folder. This is kind of coming back to me now. Now what we need to do is trim off, because we've got like a little flap that tucks in here, but we need to cut off 1. And did they do the same one? Did I do the same one on each side? No, you do it on opposite sides, just to be difficult. Okay, so I'm going to take it up to 1 centimetre, and I'm going to slice along there. I'm going to turn the whole thing 180 degrees. I'm going to do the same again. Take it to 1 centimetre, take it from the middle and trim, and then going to... Now, when I chop that, because I'm chopping these pieces off, I'm just going to do it diagonally, because I want to create a flap like that. I'm going to do the same on the other side. There we go. So now, when I fold that on there and that along there, these stick down, and I've basically created a pocket. I didn't trim that very well. What have I done wrong? Yeah, do you know what? It's not too bad. It'll be fine. Ah, you see, the perfectionist in me wants to fix this. Let's see if I can fix this. Although I also don't want to wreck it. Sometimes, you know, when you slice tiny little bits off. Let's pop that in there. Yeah. Do you know what? That's fine. And the other side was okay. Right. But before I stick it down, hey Debbie, I need to have subtitles for when you're watching on silent. I don't know how to do that, I'm afraid. So, right. You see, again, this is coming back to me. So I've got to do these diagonal lines because that's what helps fold it into this beautiful hexagon shape. But you don't do, now if I have a look to see which, I'm going to do a diagonal line from here through to here, and then from here to here, but not on that bottom one. And then if we consider that's the other side, I don't do it along the top one. So diagonal lines from, let's push this arm back in, from this point here to that point there. And I am scoring, making sure that I score and don't cut. And then the same for this bit here. Score, score, score. There we go. So I don't know if you can see those score lines on the navy cardstock, but it's scored all the way along there, all the way along there. It's not scored in that panel, and it's not scored in that panel. Right. This is all coming back to me, by the way. I did make a lot of those cards one year. I'm trying to remember how long ago it was as well, because that paper, I'm trying to remember which catalogue it was in. I don't think it was last Christmas. Might have been the Christmas before. Anybody else recognise the paper? Might have even been an annual catalogue rather than a Christmas catalogue. In fact, I think it was an annual catalogue. I think it'll be nice with Christmas papers though. This is a lovely card which you could use for any sort of occasion, but it's especially nice as a Christmas card. Now, I have just scored those all in that direction. I actually think the diagonals need to go in the opposite direction. Yes. Yep, you see it again. It's coming back. It's all coming back to me now. I'm sure that's a Celine Dion song. Let's get this glued. I'm going to use my trusty tear tape. Now, when you're gluing something with folds, try and get your glue as close to your score line as you can, because that's the bit that needs to be nice, and if you do it to the other end, then you're going to have that bit that gapes. So I want to put tear tape on both sides. That one's got a little bit of a diagonal on it, so if I put it there, it kind of fits with that little diagonal. Alright, let's do assembly now. So I'm going to fold these two flaps in. I'm going to do one side first, do it all the way along, and then the other side. So at this point I've got this pocket. Now, if I've done this correctly, you should be able to kind of fold along where that line is, and it comes up to start to form my hexagon, and then fold the other fold line, and I've got my hexagon. There we go. Got my little hexagon card. Right. Do you know what? That wasn't as tricky as I thought it was going to be. Now we've got these little bits, because with the folds, I don't know if you can see the little fold there. It doesn't like that, so I'm just going to trim it. Because I don't want that glue sticking up and getting in the way. There we go. Probably need to do the same. Yeah, need to do the same with the other side. There we go. These snips are so good. They're really good at getting in. There we go. So now we've got our hexagon. Now what I want to do is turn it from a plain navy hexagon into a decorated hexagon. But you don't need to cover all of the pieces. You can see you need one rectangle, and then you need 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. And in order to get triangles, you basically do a rectangle that you cut in half. So that tells me I need 1, 2, 3 rectangles in order to create there. Now, part of you's thinking, surely I only need to do it at the top. I don't need to do it at the bottom as well. Right, see if you watch very carefully, this bit, when it folds over, you see that bit from the other side. Do you see? And you see that one as well. And then this one, when it folds over, you also see that one from the other side. So you do need to chop all of these pieces, or else you'll just have that and that one coloured and not these two. So, right, let's try and remember what size my my rectangles are going to be. Also, very much like your advice on which paper I should use. So the blue stars is beautiful, but it would also look nice, to be honest. I'm thinking this one. I'm thinking this is like Moroccan style. So that's my choice at the moment. Although actually leaves would look really pretty as well. I'm going to do a belly band with one of the vanilla ones. So at the moment, I'm going to make the belly band while you lot tell me which do you think should be the paper that I use. Moroccan, leaves, or stars. You guys decide, and I will go with your I will go with your suggestion. While you're voting, I'm going to make the belly band. And I'm going to use vanilla cardstock for the belly band. Mostly because the paper is navy and vanilla, so that's why I chose this. Now, to do the belly band, see again, I remember it needs to be the full length. And how big did I do this? It's a 1 inch belly band. So 1 inch of my Fairy Vanilla cardstock. Now, see when you do a belly band, yes, you can measure things, but that's not always going to give you what you need. The easiest way I find to do a belly band is to position it where you want it to be and then just wrap it round. Actually, I'm going to start about here. So if I wrap that round to that side, I just wrap that round to the other side. I'm going to cut it there. Now, to be honest, I'm not going to fully complete my belly band because I'm going to do that once I've got the papers, and I'm going to use the vanilla paper to coordinate with the navy paper. So let's, oh goodness, lots of votes. What have we said? 2 votes for leaves, 3 votes for leaves, 1 for Moroccan, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, leaves gets it hands down. Let's go for the leaves then. Right. The rectangles that I'm going to cut need to fit into this rectangle here, she says, looking for her ruler. And I'm pretty sure, because we did it in centimetres before, so we know that it's 10.5 by 6. I'm just wondering if we can be smart with inches. Yeah, we can. You see again, it's coming back to me from before. You know our designer series paper is 12 by 12. So if you use a 4-inch strip, you are basically using 1/3 of your designer series paper. Okay, so cut it to 4 inches because 4 inches just fits on here and no more, which is perfect. Now, what's the dimensions in the other side? If I do this to 2 1/4, that'll work perfectly. So let's do 2 1/4, and I need, she says, that seems too wide. It is. It's not 2 1/4. Is it 2 1/8? How did I get that wrong? It's 2 1/4. I've got that to 2 1/2. That's the problem. 2 1/4 was correct. Okay, 2 1/4 will just fit just perfectly on there. Okay, so you want 3 rectangles that are 2 1/4. 2 1/4. Now, with your 3 rectangles, you keep one of them solid and the other 2 you want to cut into diagonals. And I'm just checking, because you see again, memories are coming back to me. So, the paper's not dimensional, so it doesn't matter which way you cut this. So line up your points. Now, whenever you're cutting a diagonal, I don't like to cut straight onto a point because I think it damages it a bit. So start in the middle, cut out the way like that, and you'll get your triangles. And now I'm just checking that they fit. No, it does matter. Let's see. Yeah, because you see now that's not going to work. I've done them the wrong way around. If I hadn't glued that down, I could have flipped it over, but that's all right. I've got enough designer series paper. Oh, when I had some of my team round at the weekend crafting with me, they told me that I've got a bit of a catchphrase. You know, when you're doing something, make sure you do it this way and not that way. Ask me how I know. So there you go. When you're cutting your triangles, do not cut them that way. So I'm not Right, I need it to be large along the bottom and small along the side, like that. Basically, not in that way, but in that way. Hopefully this makes more sense to you. If it was double-sided paper, it wouldn't be an issue because you could just flip it over and use the other side. But this isn't double-sided paper. So, but I will be sure to use these offcuts for something else. Don't worry, they're not going to go to waste. Let's cut these again. I was being so careful talking about cutting into diagonals. Oh well. Right, once you have got your pieces cut, you're next going to add them onto your base. So Tombow is the best for this because it's very forgiving. Just gonna slide that on. How's everybody getting on with their Christmas card making? I know I asked this before. I'm a bit better than I was. I still have an awful lot to do, but I'm getting there. I'm gonna pop that triangle on there. I like again using Tombow for elements that have got triangles because I think you don't want to put the glue too close to the edges, but you do want to make sure that those points really get stuck down nicely without glue splurging everywhere. Splurging, of course, is a technical term used by many crafters. There we go. So you're going to glue one rectangle to the top and then two triangles there, and then turning it over, you're going to glue these two triangles here. See, when you do it the first time, because I mean, I'm lucky I've got the one that I did before that I can look at. If you fold it up, you'll be able to see which segments need to have paper on them. So you could just do a pencil mark. You see that? On the ones that need to have it, and then when you open it up you can see which are the sections that you need to stick the designer series paper to, and that way you won't make a mistake at the assembly stage. It should also help you knowing whether you're cutting a triangle that looks like that or a triangle that looks like that. So I think the assembly stage we got on all right with. That bit's relatively easy. You've watched me make it, and you remember you can always go back and watch these videos. They're always saved. Ali's made quite a few. Flora, you haven't started. Lass after my own heart, Flora. I have not done anywhere close to the number that I need. But we are still only in October, right guys? Don't need to start panicking for a wee while yet. Okay, so one side has got rectangle, two triangles. The other side has got two triangles. So now, when we fold it up, we've got, I really like that. It looks beautiful with the gold and the navy. Okay, belly band goes over the top like that. And to stay consistent, I'm going to use the leaves, the gold leaves. Now my belly band was 1 inch wide. This one, I'm not going to do it, doesn't need to be a full inch. I'm just going to do it to, what am I going to do, 3/4 of an inch? Yeah. And you see, again, when you're doing the belly band, what I would do is, actually, where's my, oh no, stick to Tombow. Right, I'm going to stick down the centre of my belly band, because you can see I did the creases before. I'm going to stick this down, make sure it's centred, as in top and bottom equal amounts, like that. Then I'm going to fold over one piece and just fold that over as well, and then stick it down. Do you find sometimes if you stick one thing to another thing and then try and fold it round corners, it can wrinkle and not look as nice? If you do it this way, you're not going to end up with that same wrinkle. There you go. Then I'm going to do the same at the other side, just fold that down and then fold that over. Now this one I'm not even taking it right to the very end because I know it's going to cover up like that. So it's being very lazy. Let's put that on, put that round. And then now to kind of attach my whole belly band together, I'm going to put it onto my card. I'm going to put it over. And with this, I'm going to use tear tape because I think it makes it nice and strong. And I'm going to put tear tape at the very edge of this piece. And then this one that's going to go over, I'm going to put it at the very edge of that piece, because then it's going to hold it neatly and tightly in both bits. So let's peel off my backing. Let's pop it round. Make sure it's straight. If it's not straight when you stick it down, then it'll forever be squint. Don't want to have it squint. You want to have it tight but not too tight, because at the end of the day, remember, it is supposed to slide off. There we go. Slide the belly band off and back on again. If it won't go back on, then just bend your card very slightly to help it. There we go. Now on the previous one, I'd used some gold cord. So I've got some of our gold cord. Is this the same gold cord? It is. Okay, so it must have been in the last couple of years. I've also brought some of the gold ribbon to put round it. The other thing though that I thought might look nice is the gold and navy ribbon. Now, you see, I was going to do that, but putting it over the top, it covers up the designer series paper. What do you think? Is it too much? Maybe I could just tie a bow and put that on it. What do you think? Ribbon all the way round, or is the ribbon too much? It should just be a bow, or should I use some of the gold twine or some of the thin gold ribbon? Let me know what you think, ladies. Your opinion is very important to me. Let's tie a bow. This is beautiful ribbon. At the weekend when my team came round, my mum had made a beautiful card that used this ribbon, and it just really gave it something special. You think it's too much, Helen? I think you could be right. Maybe, what do we think just about a bow on the front? Does that work? I think that might work. Just the bow or the gold cord? I see what you see. What Helen said. Yep. Right, I'm going to let you guys vote on that very quickly while I make the cards to go inside. So, because at the end of the day, a card is only of use if you then actually have something to write on it, because otherwise it's not a card, it's a pouch or a box or some sort. So what you've got are these little cards that slot in to your 3 pieces. Now, the last one I had done red and green with this. I think I definitely need to do vanilla to stick on it. Should the cards be navy and vanilla? I don't want to use gold and vanilla. I think that's too extravagant. Let's do, or maybe a different blue could go with it. What do we think about balmy blue? This could work. Balmy blue cards to go on the inside with the vanilla on top. What do you think? Navy or balmy blue? Vote now. Now you see, now the cards are in inches, which is making me think maybe the rest of the thing was meant to be in inches as well. Lots of people voting for the bow. Okay, we'll stick the bow on. Let's have a think about cards. So these are 4 inches. Oh, navy. Lots of votes for navy. Glad I saw that before I cut my Barbie blue. Right, let's get the navy cardstock out then. Navy cards to go on the inside. The other thing which you should know is that this card is really, really good as a gift card holder. So I know it looks a bit longer, but like the gift cards that you get that look like credit cards, they fit into these slots really quite nicely. So that is one thing to remember. 4 inches by 2 1/4. Oh, which is the same size as we did the paper on the outside. That's handy. 2 1/4. I think the blue is too pale. Yeah. See, this is why I like crafting with you all. You give me very good advice. 2 inches by 3 3/4. What do you think of this design? Do you like it? Is it one that you like it, but it's too complicated to make yourself? Is it one that you like it and you think, do you know what, I could do that? Might need to go back and look at the video for the measurements. Or you think, yes, Emma, this is my Christmas card. I'm going to go away straight now and make 500 of them. What do you think? What do we think of this design? Is it good for a one-off? Is it good to do in bulk? Is it nice but not for you, not your style? Would you prefer it in different colours? As I say, it's one that you could do. It doesn't have to be for Christmas. You could do this as a lovely birthday card, as a thank you card. Do however you choose. But what do you think? You like it a lot and you want to try it? That is a lovely compliment coming from you. Helen is a lovely, talented demonstrator in her own right. So, although I'm looking Helen Reid, might not be the same Helen Reid. Hello to Helen anyway, whether you're the one that I know or not. You want to go back to the beginning for the measurements, Karen? Yes. I had the advantage of having one here beside me that I could copy and measure. Once you've done the first one, it's easy. Because then you've got one to look back and to measure. You're going to give it a try, Heather? Good. Let's just stick this bow on our belly band and then I think we're all sorted. New cards every time you see a new design. You can never have too many cards. I always find there's somebody else to send to. Right, here's a pro tip. See, when you're assembling it, it's easier to kind of like do the first fold and slip in your card, and then like do the second fold and slip in your card, and then do the third one, because then they all kind of slip in nice and easily. You can stamp on them, of course, and you can write messages on them, put whatever sentiments you want inside, do whichever messages you think's nice. Yeah, you see I've done this belly band too tight. See, when you're doing your belly band, don't do them quite so tight. There we go. Slide it on. And that's us finished. Hopefully you like that. Different Helen. Okay. Well, you know, if you're ever interested, Helen, we do have a very good deal on it at the moment. No, don't worry. I hope you like this card, and you've got lots of little pockets. So that was the old version. This is the new version. And yeah, I hope you like it. If you do give it a try, then let me know. Please do share your designs with me. I love to see what people make. Oh, she's your Helen. Of course, Ali. I'm sorry. Yes, I should have realised that one. But yeah, thank you for crafting along with me. Let me just jump back to my face to finish. I don't know why I finish on my face. It might be a bit of a shock for you. Thank you for crafting with me this evening. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got any questions, as always, you know how to get in touch. And yeah, see you next time. Take care. Bye.